Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, and thank you guys so much to my YouTube channel and of course to my podcast family. Thank you so much for joining me. And today I wanted to go and start on the narcissist versus the predator part 2. So keep in mind that when I explain to you guys about night vision or infrared, I'm not saying that a narcissist is literally like that. I want you to take the analogy so that you can understand, a different perspective on how this narcissist operates. So I want to talk about the hunt. So most of you guys wonder how these narcissists hunt. If you remember on the movie The Predator, they had the night vision or the infrared, and so they sense body heat. That's the way that they hunted. They sense body heat. But what they would do is study their prey. They would study their prey. Remember, they would listen to their voices and record their voices and different things. They use their voices, will record the voices, listen to their voices, listen to the inflection in the voices. And if you watch the first Predator, they would each one of the soldiers that were in that movie, each one of them had a specific, I want to say quirk, but strength. One of them was like over masculine, one of them was really into women, one of them was kind of crazy, but that predator used what they would consider their strength against them to defeat them. Also, if you remember the movie what is it, Get the Girl, I think it was, where the serial killer would look for strong women and then use their strength against them in order to make them subservient or make them bow down to or break them. That's what he did. He broke them. So when we're talking about a narcissist, each narcissist they have the same disorder. It's just that each narcissist is different. You have some that are somatic, you have some that are cerebral, which are the more of the thinkers. The cerebrals are not really overindulged in the sex. They use the sex in order to pull the prey in, but they're not they're not what we would say over interested in sex. The somatic, on the other hand, uses sex as a means to make someone change their mind or a means of control. They want to control. So each one of them prays differently. Now let's talk about, for example, those of you that, as I said in the last video, that are strong little women, or strong men. A narcissist doesn't always look for someone that presents himself as being weak. A lot of times, a somatic narcissist that has a certain image to fulfill, they will look for those that are in positions of power. A lot of times that arrogance, when you think, I'm not saying all of you, I'm just saying this in general. But they'll look for example, a male narcissist looking for a female, or a female do the same thing with a male. But you'll have that male narcissist looking for or looking at this female that is really beautiful, grew up very beautiful, is very attractive. Everyone wants her. She's very arrogant. She's bougie. I've done this, I've done that. So to them, that right there is a hunt for them. That's a challenge to get something that they normally can't get, and to challenge them to get this arrogant, what we say, self-absorbed, I'm better than anybody else type of woman. Now keep in mind, they'll look for them because, number one, it fits their image, because that's how they are, but it fits their image and makes them look good. Number two, because you have this person, it could be a woman or a man, this person that is arrogant and doesn't want anybody to see them with flaws, and I have this and I can purchase this and I have this position and I'm really pretty and everybody thinks I'm beautiful. They know that there's a least chance that individual will disclose the dysfunction that's going on behind closed doors. So they won't be so quick to let everybody know that what they have is flawed, or what is going on behind closed doors is flawed, because that individual wants everyone to see them as perfect, or the relationship as perfect. So they'll look for someone like that, but it also helps their image. There are other ones you have to remember. They look and they listen. They listen to the inflections in your voice. They listen to what you talk about. When you talk to them, they're paying attention. They're studying you. That is how they're hunting you. They're looking for the flaws. They're looking for any kind of doorway, any kind of path. And it's sad because a lot of us just have conversations, but we never really guard our conversation when we're talking to people. It could be anybody that's listening, even from a distance. Someone that's at a restaurant that is listening and paying attention. You have people out there that stalk. You have narcissists that stalk. So you have to remember that each one of these narcissists hunt differently. Then you have to think, when you looked at Predator, for example, with that narcissist, they'll find those things in you that are strengths, or that is something that you elevate, or that you want people to see, or this facade that you have, and they'll take that and use it against you to pull you in. Number one, at first they may stroke your ego. Number two, they may make you feel good about it, because they know that's building up that pride inside of you, and that's how they pull you. But later on, as you're in the relationship with this individual, everything that you have exalted about yourself, they'll take it and use it against you to tear you down. They tear down the fibers of your soul. They tear you down. Jealous, number one. And I recall, and I'm gonna add this in here to tell you about a predator. I recall years ago, I wanted to get the training for a batterers class. I went and got training, 40-hour training for batterers class. Now after that, you have to do one-on-one to get the hours in to get your state certification. I didn't want to be certified, in providing services for batterers, because that's not my passion. My passion is more for the victims and the survivors. But I wanted to go take this class because I wanted to understand how batterers, or predators actually think. And the instructor, and I said this in another video, the instructor said that every batterer that you meet has been abused, has been battered, and has been abused. He said, do they change? No, they do not change. And what I really liked about him, now that I think back about the instructor, is that he always gray rocked. You never knew what emotion he was in. You can never figure him out. He gray rocked all the time. And I realized he gray rocked because he's accustomed to working with predators. He's working with people that will take your weakness. He said they will take advantage of your weakness. They will take advantage of, he says, even the people that he provides services through his company, he said they are predators, and they will take advantage of what they perceive as being weak. For example, a big heart, that desire to help, he says, and they will take advantage of that. The other thing also, what he was telling me about, what he was telling us about, and I've read this before, and what he was saying is that you had this particular predator, that his taste was for children, boys in general. And the way that he hunted for his next victim is he would go into a crowded place, like a child's baseball game, a sporting event, or something like that. And he would look around to find the lone child. And what he would do is he would put his hand on the back of the child's back. And he said if the child leaned into the touch, he knew that this was a potential victim. And the reason why is because immediately he realized, and a lot of them went through it themselves, he realized, okay, he said, this is a child that's probably not being nurtured at home, probably doesn't get hugs, probably doesn't get affection, is probably rejected and neglected. So then he has to come in and pay attention. What he did was pay attention, and 9 times out of 10, he said they were from a single family home, a mother, a grandmother. And what he would do was befriend the grandmother or mother, the female parent, in order to become that male figure in that child's life. And what he would do was mirror the child, mirror the language, mirror their likes, mirror it, so he gets on the level of the child and mirror their conversation, their dislikes and likes, and he would groom them by touching them and keep taking them to another level of trust. He become that trusted confidant. He'd be that person, and he would test them to see what secrets they would keep. I'm gonna buy you this ice cream, and I know you're not supposed to have it, but that's our secret. Don't tell anybody, because I know mom doesn't understand. But remember, they're having a conversation at the level of the child. Your mom's not going to understand, and they would test them, and he would very patiently groom the child. And so that's likewise with this predator, the narcissist. Same thing they do with you. They have to test their boundaries. How far can I go with you? What can I say? If I say this, if I keep stroking your ego, if I tell you how beautiful you are, if I say this, what is it? Where can I find this hole? I've got to find the opening in the door to get myself in there. There are some predators that don't physically abuse. They may have started off as overt narcissists and started physically abusing, the survivor or the victim, but they realize that it's not that effective. And what was more effective is the psychological abuse, to talk about, parenting, talking about their children, talking about their education, talking everything that they had a low self-esteem, and they would pick those things. But they knew physical, and some of you have been in domestic violence. Well, seriously, how do I put it? Come from families that were completely toxic and abusive. And so some of you guys are accustomed to, which is sad to say, accustomed to physical violence. And so you've become very, tough and calloused, even though it's not right, you become calloused. And so someone hits you or physically abusive with you, you kind of calloused, so you kind of go with the punches. And so the narcissist realizes that that may not be as effective because you're a fighter, you'll swing, you'll take the punches, and they don't get that far with you in the physical abuse. But what they find out is it's easier to break you down in the psychological abuse, because remember, they studied you, they listened to everything that you said, they look at your family members, they look at your family, your children, how you interact, who you have a relationship and who you don't have a relationship with, and so these are predators. You have to remember, these are predators. You have to be careful not to talk so much. And even though we're not talking about the alien that came on Earth, another thing too though is that if you noticed with the predator, as one of the subscribers that I said that I was going to mention it again, he always looked for the people that had weapons. That's why in the very first one, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think it was, knocked the weapon out of the girl's hand because she would become a target and he would go after him. If you look at the rest of the movies, it showed that they were hunters. They were hunters, and they had went back for generations and generations. Back in the times where you actually see like the alien skull up there, you see like a gun from 1717. They were hunters, and the one with the most kills was the one that was the greatest hunter of all. The one, and they hunted as a sport. A narcissist hunts out of necessity in order to keep the fuel levels inside of them. They regulate through the people that they have power and control over, the ones that they can hurt the most. The more injury, the more pain that they inflict, the more empowered they feel. It is a game to them, but it's a game of survival. And you have to think to yourself, you're wondering, how's this person out here fighting this one man's war? How are you fighting everybody and everybody's not fighting you back? Well, the narcissist has an internal war, internal chaos going on inside. And if you've ever been with a narcissist, for those of you that have, it's like they're totally chaotic. Like everywhere they go, they're chaotic. They invoke anxiety. Everything is uncomfortable. But keep in mind, a lot of you always look back at the wonderful things. A lot of them are just drop dead gorgeous. They're handsome. They're handsome. They have a great sense of humor. You're looking at these pictures, you're remembering your sexual exploitations, your experiences, and some of you looking like the sex was garbage. But you put that to the side because this person was so handsome and they were so nice and they were, and they provided me and they gave me this. Yeah, you were paying a price. Everything that narcissist does always comes with a return. Anything that they ever do, they always put you in a position where you owe me. So even those of you that have been married to them for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 years, 30, 40, whatever amount of years, a lot of you can say, but they were good providers. They provided me with a house, a car, clothes. They made sure that bills were paid, and I had this, and I had the latest electronic, and I had this. That's not for you, honey. That's for them, because other people are commenting and make it harder for you to leave because you have all these people. Like, do you know that people would die to have a relationship like that? Do you know that there are people that would that want to have something like that, and you have it all and you're complaining? And that's what they do it for. They do it not because they want to do it to make you feel good. They do it because they need to make sure that everybody sees what they do. It's not for you. It's for them. And then on top of that, everything comes with a price tag. No matter what it is you get, it comes with a tally, a price tag. And you are going to get to the point where you're going to have to pay that tab. And throughout your relationship, you are paying that tab. You are paying the price for everything that that narcissist has done for you. Everything you are paying the price for it. You're paying the price for it. So hopefully this has helped you guys. This video and this podcast has helped you guys. I had the fan going in the background, so I apologize. Probably caused some problems with hearing, but I apologize. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. It's Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Make sure you check out my mother's channel, which is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. Make sure you subscribe and share it because she provides you with information about narcissist abuse from a spiritual and biblical perspective. She is the presiding prelate of Into His Chambers Global Ministries. Those of you, I believe in the whole person concept. I believe in taking care of your body, your spirit, your soul, your mind, and so those of you that are in the church, I know everyone does not believe, I understand that, those of you in the church that want some argumentation, you can always join her on Facebook, which is Into His Chambers Ministry, or Apostle Helen Sadler, and you can join her on Thursday. She does Bible study, Sundays church. And of course, you'll see me walk around somewhere back there in the background when we go back to church. But listen, if you need that extra help or that extra boost, don't leave your church. But, if you want that extra help, that extra boost, and whatever your belief system is, you use that to strengthen yourself. Meditation, words of affirmation, writing it on your mirror, whatever you need to do to help yourself get better and stay safe. I just want to bring you these videos because if I can change your perspective, I can teach you how these predators operate and how they work. You'll change your mind and you'll begin to heal because you'll see it from a different perspective. You'll see these narcissists as predators, what they are. Yes, they are human. Some of you guys, they're not human. You're human, and you've done some crazy stuff to make people think that you're not human. But a narcissist is a human being what has a disorder. You can't call a schizophrenic non-human. You can't call someone with autism non-human. You can't call somebody with cancer non-human. It is a mental disorder. They are disordered individual with personality disorders. And yes, in the belief system, go check out Helen Sadler, Destiny Helpers YouTube channel. She'll give you even more in-depth information in reference to some of you guys are asking about demons and spirits. Ask her. Ask her the question. I reserve that for her. And over here, I do more of the experiential and clinical side and, the psychology side. But go check it out. Go ask her the questions. She will answer the questions. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you also go. I'm on different platforms now on Sundays when I come on live. You can find me on Periscope, both of my my YouTube and both of my Facebook pages. And I do come on Instagram. So when I do lives, and I'm also found on podcasts. My main platform is Podbean. So you can go join me on Podbean, but you can find me on iHeartRadio. You can find me on Google Play. You can find me on Spotify. So I am on all those platforms. You're welcome. If you have it, you go and look for Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. You can find it. My book, Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection, Barnes & Noble or Amazon. And also, if you need counseling, if you are in the state of Washington, I can provide you with counseling. Also, if you are outside the state of Washington, I cannot provide you with counseling. I can provide you with coaching. Coaching is different than counseling. I will not provide any mental health services. I will not provide you anything dealing with anxiety, PTSD, diagnosis, none of that when you come into coaching. Coaching will focus you on your next goal. That's why I overemphasize the fact that some of you really, really need to go to counseling before you go and find coaching. Counseling, you can find it on BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen. You can get a 10% discount. It is a vetted source. I've heard great information from many of you when you are looking for a counselor. BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen. And you can also email me if you want services, coaching services, Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com, and I will provide you with the fees. Stay tuned because I am getting ready to do a maybe 3 to 5 week class, and I will give you more information when I do that on Zoom. It would be invitation only. Of course, it is a paid course, masterclass. And so I thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you for all that you guys do. And you guys go and be great.